Hi everyone and welcome back to Birdsong Lessons with Lucy Lapwing. I think we're on week 9, no, we're on week 8 now. Week 8, yes, 7, 8, we'll go with 8. So thank you so much for following along so far. Hopefully you've been finding it useful. Today's lesson is a little bit different because you're going to get 2 birds for the price of 1. Now both of these birds are really familiar garden visitors yet again. They are both well known for being quite greedy on the feeders. They will guzzle an entire tray of food. But yeah, they're characters of the garden. Loathe them or love them, they're here to stay, and they're very common birds. So they are, of course, the wood pigeon and the collared dove. Now, to tell the difference between the two visually, it's quite easy, even though they're both vaguely pigeony birds. So the wood pigeon is the larger of the two. It's hefty. It's like a dark slater grey. A little bit of a white collar around the neck, and they've got these kind of like really intense staring eyes with tiny little pupils. They don't look like they're quite all there. And yeah, they're like pot-bellied. I like to think of them as like pot-bellied strutters. They strut out onto the bird table and just scoff everything. Collared doves, on the other hand, are a little bit smaller. They're kind of more elegant vibed. So in colour, they're almost like a dusky fawny grey than that slate grey of the wood pigeon. And they have a black collar around the neck and just very tiny, kind little eyes. But both of them you'll see commonly in any kind of urban or suburban garden or park or area like that. Now, to tell them apart by song, it can sound difficult at first, but it's actually quite easy. Now, they've both got that kind of really stereotypical cooing thing going on. We're all really familiar with it. For me, the sound of collared doves and wood pigeons is like a hazy, lazy day in late summer. You know, when it's just like warm, you're chilling in the garden, you just hear them going on and on and on. It's that kind of vibe. So to tell the difference between the two songs, it's all about counting those syllables and listening to what they're saying. So first off, let's have a listen to the wood pigeon. Now, a wood pigeon I like to think of as being quite like cocky and determined, and he's wanting to reiterate that he's a pigeon, if that makes sense. So when he's saying his name, it has to emphasise that he is in fact a pigeon after he's said it. So it's all about counting those syllables. So if we just have a listen. I'm sure that sounds quite familiar to you. Now I like to think of that noise that it's making, that do 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 do. He's saying the word wood pigeon, so he's saying his name and then he's reiterating that he's a pigeon afterwards. So wood pigeon, pigeon, wood pigeon, pigeon. He really wants you to know he's a pigeon. The collared dove, if we listen to that, it's saying its name, but it's not that fussed about reiterating the dove part of it. So let's just have a listen to the beat of the collared dove. You can get quite a jam on. I just said jammed on ironically. So if you listen to the collared dove, you can hear that it goes round and round, but there's not enough space to fit in that wood pigeon phrase that was before. So it goes collared dove, collared dove, collared dove, do 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 do, round and round. So all you've got to do when you hear one or the other is just test out the spacing of those syllables and see which phrase fits to it, and you can work out who the bird is behind the voice, if that makes sense. Now, wood pigeons are a little bit tricky and sometimes they don't finish off what they're saying. So they'll say, wood pigeon, pigeon, wood pigeon, pigeon, wood pit, and then just stop, which is just birds being a pain in the bum again. So bear in mind there's a little bit of variation there. But yeah, hopefully that's been useful. It's kind of like the lamest party trick to pull it like a barbecue, if we ever get back to the point of being able to have like barbecues, to be like, well actually in fact that's a collared dove. But yeah, if you're into that thing, you're here clearly, so you're into your birdsong. But yeah, if you've got a different way of remembering collared dove, wood pigeon, if you've got a funny trick, just let me know. And if you've got any questions about this video, let me know. If you've got any questions about videos past or anything that I'm going to cover in the future, any future birds, please also let me know because I find it really helpful. Thanks so much for watching and join me again soon for another birdsong lesson. Bye!